And welcome back to today's Retirees with Certified Financial Planner Wayne Maslyk of Great Lakes Benefits and Wealth Management. We're talking about life insurance today. In our previous segment, we were talking about how to go about determining how you would know how much insurance that you need. And as you were saying, you need the insurance, but you need to do it right. You need to do it well. Mm-hmm. That's why folks need to come in and talk to you so that you can help them put together a plan. Now, let's talk a little bit about how do you fund it? I mean, there's, again, we talked about, the permanent insurance, the term insurance. Mm-hmm. Those have different costs.
Yeah, and the term insurance is very inexpensive. That's why there's really no excuse not to have life insurance if you need it. Because all these commercials and advertisements, you can get term insurance pretty cheap. Mm-hmm. You heard the Big Lou?
I've heard that
Big
commercial.
Lou, he's just like you, right? Yeah. Love that.
Yeah, he takes meds too, or
right,
something like that. Yeah, I've heard that
Good
commercial.
Stuff. The important thing is to find an agent that you're comfortable with, have them run you some quotes, and put something in place if you need it. The next step, though, the hard stuff, is what if you should look at a permanent policy? Term is easy, cheap, no excuse not to get it. But if you want to, go a little further, mm-hmm. have a high quality product, permanent with cash value, which you could potentially use, in the future, then you have more homework to do.
Now, when you get into the more permanent or the permanent style, mm-hmm. Some of those were sold like an investment.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, it's, some of the agents way back then, blue suede shoe, fast talking, mm-hmm. This will be your retirement, tax-free.
Sure. And it's tied to the interest rate.
Tied to the interest rates in many cases, like a universal life policy can be tied to the current interest rates, mm-hmm. Could be tied to the market, variable universal life. Then there's whole life, and there's variable whole life tied to the market. There's a lot out there. Yeah, you have to be careful. You have to really talk with somebody that knows what they're talking about, explains it thoroughly. Now, the big mistake that was made, over the years is these agents sold these policies years ago when interest rates were high.
Sure.
They were high, high interest rates. And when interest rates drop, the payment that agent showed you was going to work with a 10 or 11% rate way back when, mm-hmm. isn't going to work with a 3% rate.
Sure.
And if they don't keep up on it and put enough money or put more money in, the policy is going to eat itself up.
Okay.
And the statements many times will tell you when the policy will lapse. You got to pay attention to that every year. If your policy is tied to the stock market, you have to really keep an eye on it because in the bad years, it eats up your cash value. So.
Okay. And now when you deal with families, do you help them make these kinds of decisions?
Absolutely. It's very important to get the proper amount of life insurance and to get the proper type of life insurance. Mm-hmm. Or if you have insurance already, to properly manage that throughout the years.
So when you are dealing with all of this, helping people lay this all out, do you also go back and look at what they presently have?
Of course.
And help them figure out, okay, maybe we made a mistake 20 years ago. How do we fix it?
One of my questions in our very first meeting is, do you have life insurance? How much? What type is it? And who's the beneficiary? Mm-hmm. Literally first meeting.
Not your ex-wife.
Sometimes it is.
We've had that discussion.
Not mine. I've only been married once.
No, but we've had that discussion before.
It's been absolutely. Or deceased spouse is still on there. So you got to stay on all that. This is just one piece of the financial plan, but it's often overlooked or misused.
Sure.
You really have to understand how insurance works and stay on top of it so you don't waste your money after paying into a plan all those years.
Sure, absolutely. Well, friends, we're going to take a little break. When we come back, we're going to talk about life insurance in our more mature years after retirement. Do we still need it? And what would that look like if we do need it? go to Wayne's website, todaysretirees.com, or call that number, 866-626-3990. We'll be back right after.